From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as...
Johnny Dollar.
We're ready on your call to Boston. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes?
Mr. Semplin, this is Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar? I don't believe I remember you, Mr. Dollar.
Well, we've never met. Your company hired me here in Hartford to investigate the Joan Sebastian death.
Oh? Sorry that they didn't advise me.
Well, they probably will. I called you to find out the name of the officer in charge of the case, if I could.
It's Lieutenant DeRosa.
DeRosa. Do you happen to know what their theory is, if any?
Theory? I don't think they've arrived at a definite theory.
Still a toss-up between murder and suicide, huh? Okay, Mr. Semplin. I'll be in touch.
Edmund O'Brien in a transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Corinthian Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Joan Sebastian matter. Expense account item 1, 175 phone call to Boston, advising your manager there of my assignment. Item 2, $28 car rental and mileage from my Hartford apartment to police headquarters, Boston.
What's the matter, Dollar? Don't you trust us?
Well, it's not up to me to mistrust you, Lieutenant. These insurance people get uneasy when there's a choice between suicide and murder, unless the murder motive is the policy.
And you don't think there's a chance of that?
I wouldn't say definitely not, but the Sebastian girl made her mother her beneficiary, and her mother's an invalid in a rest home.
Did you know the mother has taken up with an old flame?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Goes to see her 3 times a week. Crazier things have happened. I'll get the file for you. Sit down. Now, this is all we've got so far, pending the coroner's inquest and the autopsy report. Here's a photo of where she was found.
Shallow water. That's the bridge?
Uh-huh. She was lying right about there. But I don't think you have to worry about suicide, Dollar. As far as I'm concerned, it wasn't.
I'll buy that, too. I wouldn't say this bridge is a suicide type. It's too low.
Yeah. And there's another thing. I've been on the force for more years than I like to count, and I've run into my share of suicides. But I've never known a woman to do it that way without taking off her coat.
Oh?
Yeah, usually shoes, too. I've learned that's part of a generally accepted pattern.
The Sebastian girl didn't fit the pattern, huh?
Yeah, here's the way she looked. Coat on, belt still tied. Shoes. Her purse is still missing. We're searching the stream for it.
How old was she?
21.
She was a beautiful girl.
Yeah, I noticed that. I try not to, but with her, I couldn't help it.
How much questioning have you done, Lieutenant?
Oh, not as much as we'll do after the inquest.
When'll that be?
Day after tomorrow. Do you want anything more here?
No, thanks.
I'll give you the background we have on her. It's in my office.
I won't bother you anymore, Lieutenant DeRosa. Besides, I like to dig up backgrounds myself. I know them better if I do. Thanks a lot for your cooperation. I drove out to the stream where they'd found the girl's body, and there chalked up another point against her death being a suicide. The bridge from which she had dropped was a good 4 miles from town. On the assumption that she'd been brought there in a car, the placement of a body in regard to the 2 lanes on the bridge made it look as if the car was going toward Boston, not away from it. 5 minutes later, I was heading the same way.
Hello?
Miss Mary O'Neill?
Yes?
The manager suggested I come up. He told me you shared this apartment with Joan Sebastian.
That's right. Who are you?
My name's Dollar. I'm from her insurance company. I'd like to talk to you about her if I could.
Well, I suppose so, but there's nothing I can do now. This is the biggest shock I've ever had. I always said there'd be trouble. But I never thought she'd do anything like this.
Maybe she didn't.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, there are signs that say maybe she didn't commit suicide.
There are?
Do you think she had any reason to?
Well, that's what I said. I never thought she would. Sit down. Any place.
Thanks.
Poor little Joan. What does it mean?
I'm not sure. Did you say you expected trouble?
Oh, yeah, I kept telling her. It was the way she went, like she couldn't live fast enough, like there wasn't time to get everything done. She'd been like that ever since she got rid... I mean, her mother went into that hospital. Joni was all tied down taking care of her before.
What could have caused the trouble?
Well, I'm not saying she was wrong or anything, but... Well, there were too many men.
I imagine that was easy for her.
Sure was. Too easy.
Do you mind telling me who they were?
Well, I don't know. Only about one. Harold Corey. He's gone with her the longest.
Harold Corey.
Yes, he drives for the North American van lines. Sometimes he goes way out to the West Coast. And, well, while he was gone, Joni didn't stay home and catch up on her reading, if you know what I mean.
I think I do.
She went out with a different guy almost every night. I didn't pry, but she never tell me who they were. You think somebody killed her, don't you?
Would you help me try to find out?
What could I do?
You didn't want to pry, but I get paid to. I'd like to look at her things.
Well, I suppose it's my duty, sort of, isn't it?
In a way, yeah. But I can't force you to.
Oh, I know it's the thing to do. Some of her drawers are locked, but I'll show you what I can.
I started on the locked dresser drawers. They gave up and opened after a brief struggle, but contained on the whole things that might normally be locked up because of their value. Imported perfumes, expensive lingerie, and some jewelry. The only thing that looked as if it might have been hidden for the sake of secrecy was under the jewel box. It was a gold key, a functional house-type key, but with meaning added because the head of the key was heart-shaped. It hung from a fine gold chain.
I never saw that before. Never saw the perfume before either, but I smelled it.
That's a few $100s worth of scent. And the rest of it was Joan used to such expensive things?
Well, not that I know about. Harold Corey sure couldn't shell out that kind of money. A heart-shaped key. It's cozy.
I'd like to keep it if I could.
Oh, I don't know about that. After all, it isn't mine. I might get into trouble.
You won't, I promise you. I'm working with the police on this thing. I want to find out where it was made if I can and who ordered it.
Oh, I get it. Sure, I wouldn't stop you from doing that, even if I could.
North American van lines.
I wonder if I could get some information about a driver of yours, Harold Corey. I phoned his home and couldn't get him. Is he out of town?
Just a second. Yeah. Harold Corey's on a run to Philadelphia.
Oh? When's he due back?
He's doing tonight, about 3 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Thanks very much. Expense account item 3, $7, drinks and dinner after I checked into the Bristol Hotel. Item 4, a nickel, phone call to Joan Sebastian's employer. Edward Hollis was at home and would see me.
Come into the living room, Mr. Dollar. We may as well be comfortable.
It's nice of you to see me, Mr. Hollis. I thought it'd be better to do it this way rather than bother you at work.
Of course, and I appreciate it. The atmosphere at the office has been gloomy enough. Oh, this is Mrs. Hollis, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, how do you do?
Quite well, thank you. I didn't know the poor girl, but it's a dreadful thing.
Yes, I'm afraid it is.
They don't understand. A young girl like that with everything to live for.
Well, it may be even worse than that.
Worse? How could it be worse?
It looks more and more like her death was not a suicide.
Oh, Mr. Dollar.
I didn't mention it on the phone. The police think it was murder, though, and so do I. I thought it'd be better to save the blow until I get out here. You know, murder's pretty messy.
Well, this is a shock. I suppose I could be dragged into a courtroom along with everybody else who knew her.
Edward.
Beatrice, you run along upstairs. There's no reason for your going through this.
All right, Edward. I think I'd rather. Good night, Mr. Dollar.
Good night. I'm sorry, but it couldn't be helped.
Of course it couldn't. I understand.
I'll make this as fast as possible, Mr. Hollis. I don't know how much you knew about Joan Sebastian's private life.
I knew nothing. I have a number of girls in the office, and it's been my philosophy to remember that not too long ago, I was as young as they are. As long as they do their work well, I ask no questions. As a matter of fact, I have no right to.
Sure. From what I've gathered, she was mixed up emotionally. She hadn't had much freedom because of an invalid mother she took care of.
Oh, I did know that.
When the mother went to a hospital, Joan began to make up for lost time. She led her friends to believe that she ran around with a lot of men. But I don't believe that.
Oh?
I think it was one man. Would you give me the names of the girls she worked with? I'd like to talk to them and find out if something may have come out over lunch or cocktail.
Yes. I'd rather my staff wasn't upset too much, but I'll tell you. You'll want to question them separately?
That's right.
And I could give you their names now, but if you'll phone me at the office in the morning, I'll give you their addresses and phone numbers.
That would help.
Good. You can call any time after 9:30.
I called the next morning and got a list of 6 feminine names, which I pocketed for later reference. And at 10:30, I was at the home of Harold Corey, a ground-floor apartment on Hemingway Street.
Yeah, who is it?
My name is Dollar.
Come later, will you? I don't want to talk to anybody right now.
I'm an insurance investigator. I want to talk to you about Joan Sebastian.
Who have you talked to? Why did she do it?
She didn't.
What do you mean? It's a mistake?
In a way, yeah. It's murder.
Murder? You're crazy.
Am I?
Oh, maybe you are. She'd never kill herself, would she? She had no reason to.
When did you see her last?
Night before I left for Philadelphia.
When was that?
2 nights ago, Tuesday. I left at 5 Wednesday morning.
She was found Wednesday morning.
What are you driving at, mister?
When did you learn that she was seeing somebody else when you were out of town?
Didn't know she was.
Look, Corey, I'm not tossing suspicions around to see how they bounce off you. You're in a bad way. Do you know that?
You're telling me you think I killed her? Me? I loved her. I wanted to marry her.
That's a motive, not an alibi.
Get out of here, will you? Leave me alone.
You aren't helping yourself with this act. You're making it worse.
Get out of here before I do have a murder to answer for. Get out. Get out!
Lieutenant DeRosa.
This is Dollar, Lieutenant.
Hey, I've been kicking myself for not getting your hotel yesterday.
Well, I didn't have one then, but I got a few things to pass along to you now.
Well, if it's the Sebastian thing, save him.
What do you mean?
It's suicide after all.
How come?
Autopsy report. There was concussion from that drop from the bridge, but that wasn't the cause of death.
Now, wait a minute.
Cause of death was from carbon monoxide. It looks like she pulled the suicide where it would embarrass somebody, and they tossed her in the creek to get her out of the way. Hello? You still there, Dollar?
Yeah, I'm still here. This is where I came in.
We'll return you to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. But first, one of radio's greatest stars has returned to CBS The Stars address. He's Frank Sinatra. Frank will be here every Sunday afternoon for a full hour of songs, comedy, and commentary on popular music. The Frank Sinatra Show is a part of CBS's new lineup of entertainment on Sunday afternoons. Join CBS every Sunday afternoon, won't you? Now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return you to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Come in.
Desk sergeant said you were waiting for me.
Oh, yeah. I told him you'd be showing up. Sit down, Dollar. You didn't seem to like the latest development.
Well, I've been working from other directions. Give it to me again, will you?
Well, here's the autopsy report. Death by asphyxia caused by carbon monoxide, agent unknown. Probably automobile engine exhaust. That's the most popular these days.
Do you believe this, Lieutenant?
I believe what's on the report.
And how did you say she got into the river?
I said maybe she committed suicide somewhere so that somebody would get involved. Maybe in the driveway of somebody who didn't want to get involved. To get rid of her, she was probably moved to the stream. What's the matter? Don't you like that?
What else does the report say?
Oh, symptoms of severe concussion. I thought you'd be happy with this suicide evidence.
The insurance company hired me to dig up facts. If it was suicide, all right. But if it wasn't, they want to know that, too. And I don't think it was.
Why not?
Well, from what I've learned, she wasn't the type. She liked to be alive, and she played it hard enough to leave some motives lying around. Jealousy, for one.
That boyfriend of hers?
Ah, you know about him, then.
Yeah, Corey, isn't it? A truck driver?
That's right. And then there's this. Look.
What's this unlock?
I wish I could tell you. It was given to her by somebody. I'd like to know who. Would you put a couple of men on it, find out where it was made? I could do it, but I think the police can get it done faster.
All right, Dollar. I'll stick my neck out that far. I'm under orders, you know that. I have to be assigned before I can investigate.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll take your story upstairs and see what the chief says. Let me know what else you find.
I will. Say, do you have the address of the old flame you mentioned? The mother's friend?
Still like to settle for fraud, would you? The desk sergeant will give you his address. His name's Paul Anderson.
You Mr. Anderson?
I am?
I'm from Joan Sebastian's insurance company. Wonder if you'd spare me a few moments.
Why, yes, I suppose so. Come in. I didn't know she had a policy.
She did. $25,000 to go to her mother.
I see.
Her death has been classed as a suicide, which voids the policy. The 2-year self-destruction clause is still in effect.
And that's a pity.
Why'd you say that?
Well, it's the least she could do for poor Mildred.
That's her mother?
Yes, an extremely young mother who has almost ruined her life for that girl.
I didn't know that.
Daughter was born when Mildred was only 17. She was left to care for the child herself. I helped as much as I could.
How well did you know the girl after she grew up?
Why, I was a friend of her mother's. Why do you ask?
Which one did you know first?
I don't see what this has to do with the
You
matter.
don't have to answer.
I don't want you to misunderstand. There's nothing to be hidden. I suppose it is unusual. I did meet Joan first. But when she took me to her house and I met her mother, I realized that Joan was, well, no more than a cheap little opportunist. The complete opposite from her mother. As I say, I suppose it is unusual.
And that doesn't make any difference. Point is that you dropped the girl in favor of her mother. Is that it?
It wasn't the gross situation you evidently wish it had been. I realized Mildred's condition and the lack of care. I knew she needed someone, and I did what I could for her.
Did you send her to the rest home?
I did. Now, look here. This has gone far enough. You asked me these questions for one reason, so that you can make your own conclusions, haven't you?
I didn't know it showed.
It does. Think I sent Mildred to the home to get her out of the way, don't you? That is not the case. You can think what you like. Go ask Mildred if you care to.
I won't bother her. Do you know anything about a gold key that Joan had?
A gold key? No, I don't know anything about a gold key. I've known very little about Joan all these past months. I could have told you that she was headed toward a bad end a long time ago. Now she's reached it. There's no one to blame but herself.
It was 4 p.m. then, and at 5, I was standing in front of the North American Van building on Columbus Avenue as Harold Corey backed a big rig into a parking area and headed for a quick-order restaurant. Hello, Corey.
What this time?
Dispatcher tells me you're going out on another run. Pretty short layover, isn't it?
That's right. I asked for it. I figured driving, I'd get my mind off this thing. What do you want?
Do you know how she died?
I read about it. Carbon monoxide.
Do you still think it couldn't have been suicide?
She's dead. That's as far as I can think.
You knew about Paul Anderson, didn't you?
What about Paul?
That he might have been more interested in Joan than he was in her mother?
I suppose you're just doing a job, aren't you? What you say is true. I didn't know about it. If I had known about it, I would have gone after him, not Joan. I can't take any more, mister.
Look, I don't enjoy it either, Corey. Like you say, I'm just doing a job. After questioning the 6 girls who had worked with Joan Sebastian, I was still nowhere. None of them knew anything about her private life. But the next morning, the police located a goldsmith who said he remembered making the key.
The police told me you might come in, Mr. Dollar. No trouble at all. Happy to oblige.
Good. You've seen the key?
Yes, the officer showed it to me. Oh, friendly young man.
I have it with me. You're sure you made it?
Oh, yes, positive. See here, I'll admit to a quaint conceit. You see here? Potted scroll? See the letters?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, C.S.
My initials, Cedric Foss.
Oh.
But I haven't the faintest recollection who I made it for. I told that young officer that, too. I don't even remember when. Oh, there's so much work, you know.
Well, maybe I can help you. It would have been between 7 and 8 months ago. You keep any kind of record?
Oh, of course I do. I'm bound to. A matter of law. 7 or 8 months should have... let me see. That would be November, October, September.
7 would be March. 8 would be February.
Oh, yes, of course. Here we are. Frankly, I'm intrigued. How many of my items may have been involved with tragedy? Who knows? Perhaps I'm a curse.
I was hoping you'd be a cure for this one.
Well, I hope so. You wouldn't know what week or day?
Oh, I'm afraid not.
Oh, my. Oh, my. February wasn't a very good month, was it? Post-holiday slump. Reset, change rings high. Set opals. Dreadful stuff.
What?
No. It's much too small. Key for a jewel box. Well, let me see. March. Yes, engraved spoon. Reset, repair, bracelet. Yeah. Here it is. Door key in gold. March 17th.
What name?
Do not deliver. Will call J.E. Carter.
J.E. Carter.
Does that help?
No, not a bit. Do you remember anything about him?
No, paid in cash. Wait, now, that was the day Mrs. Brand brought the baby shoe in for placing. She's the councilman's wife. I remember that. It was snowing.
That was the day it was ordered, huh?
Yes, now, wait a minute. It was modeled from a plain old cast house key.
Uh-huh.
I cannot picture him. But I'd done some apartment keys, and he said this was for a cottage.
Outside of town?
It was a surprise for his wife, someplace on the bay. I remember that because of the hideous weather, and I could just feel that wind coming through one of those summer cottages.
Now, do you think you'd recognize him if you saw him again?
Well, I can't say until I do. I could try.
Well, we may have to call on you then. Thanks. Thanks a lot. I think you've helped.
How'd you make out with that fussy little man, Dollar?
We found the day the key was ordered, and he remembered a few things because a councilman's wife came in the same day.
Why?
Well, the customer, Carter was the name he used, mentioned a cottage on the bay. Now, that's east, and the girl's body was found northwest of here. I think she was dumped from a car coming toward Boston from out there. So I think the cottage is in that direction.
Deduction yet.
Look, if I were going to dump a body, I wouldn't carry it across 2 traffic lanes, would you?
I'm being paid to think about another case. I couldn't sell the murder pitch upstairs. But I tried, and I'll buck for a promotion if you're right and upstairs is wrong.
I don't suppose you could earn that promotion by assigning some men to cover that section.
Huh? Oh, not a chance. That's county. Division of responsibility.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I, for one, wouldn't be surprised to know how many people have died because of that division of responsibility. Expense account item 4, $35 mileage covering a 2.5-day search of real estate offices northwest of Boston. Object, a cottage rented a few days before March 17th by a man possibly using the name J.E. Carter. It was morning to night legwork, but on the afternoon of the 3rd day, it paid off. I found an agent who had rented a cottage to a J.E. Carter. She took me out, but before we went into the place, I noticed a lean-to garage marked up by plenty of tire tracks. Inside, I found a stained rug, among other things.
Well, Mr. Dollar, I've always said I personally vouch for the people I do business with.
You never know, do you?
I should say you don't. You want to go now?
I think I've seen enough. Let me lock it. I want to see if this key fits.
It does fit.
Yeah, it sure does.
Oh, Mr. Dollar.
Hello, Mr. Hollis. May I come in?
Why, yes, of course. Come in. Well, I didn't expect you to come back.
Didn't you, Mr. Hollis? You thought you'd get away with this, huh?
What did you say?
Well, now, there's no reason to be clever with each other, Mr. Hollis. I know you killed her. You rented a cottage out beyond Mystic River. You used the name J.E. Carter when you bought the gold key.
I did that?
I'm afraid you did.
Come into the other room. Yes, you're right, I did. I became infatuated with her. If you'd known her, you'd understand. I realized last week that it had to stop, and I told her. She had been going with that young Corey boy. I told her that even if I was single and eligible to marry, I would advise her to hang on to him, someone her own age.
That was last Tuesday night?
Yes. She left the cottage, and I heard her drive off. Or at least I thought I did. When I went out, I learned what she had really done. She committed suicide in the car. You can hardly blame me for wanting to keep the secret.
No, you've been reading the papers, Mr. Hollis. Suicide and all that. I've been inside your cottage. You didn't do a very good job of cleaning up the bloodstains.
You're right, Mr. Dollar. There seems to be no longer any reason to attempt cleverness. I'll make my statement to the police.
I'll drive you down.
Thank you. How did you find out, Dollar?
There was a Wall Street Journal there, addressed to you.
Oh, I see.
Edward?
Now, Beatrice, go upstairs.
No, Edward, I won't.
I insist, Beatrice.
What good would it do? Do what I've done because I lost you? Why should you ask me to go upstairs while I lose you again?
I forbid you to say another word.
Forbid, Edward. You have no right. I found them, Mr. Dollar. It took a long time, but I found them. She had taken him from me because she was beautiful. And I no longer am. I was waiting in the cottage. And when they came in, I struck her.
Is this true, Mrs. Hollis?
I killed her. And since there was nothing left, we carried her to the cop.
Beatrice. Beatrice, what have I done? What have I done?
Expense account item 5, $110 final bill for car rental. Item 6, $85 miscellaneous. Expense account total, $356.75. Remarks? I don't know what sticklers the Massachusetts law courts are, but Joan Sebastian was not killed by the wronged wife. She was unconscious but alive when Hollis put her in his car trunk. She died there by carbon monoxide. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd with music by Wilbur Hatch. Edmund O'Brien may soon be seen in the Paramount Pictures production Warpath. Featured in tonight's cast were Virginia Gregg, Howard McNear, Virginia Eiler, Wally Mayer, John Stevenson, Bill Johnstone, and Raymond Burr. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is Dan Coverly inviting you to join us next week at this time when we will again bring you Edmund O'Brien as...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Stay tuned for Vaughn Monroe's Caravan, which follows immediately over most of these same CBS stations. This is CBS, where Hopalong Cassidy rides every Saturday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
It's time now for Edmund O'Brien as...
Johnny Dollar.
Hello, Dollar. This is Carter down at Tri-State Insurance.
Yeah, I've heard of it. How are you, Bill?
Fair. Listen, we have a vice president down here who has an idiot cousin selling insurance for us in New York City. Well, he's done it again.
Did you call me for advice or sympathy?
He just sold a $15,000 policy covering a pair of antique pistols for the trip from here to a buyer in Boston.
Well, some of those old weapons are worth it.
Well, these must be. That's why I want you to see that they get there. According to this Leonard Bonney, who brought the pistols this far from England, somebody tried twice to steal them. That we learned after he bought the policy. Will you take the job?
Okay, Bill. And when can I talk to this Bonnie?
He's at the doctor's, but he'll be back in my office in an hour.
Doctor's?
Yeah. The last time the thugs jumped him, they put a knife through his arm.
Edmund O'Brien in a transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office Tri-State Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. Attention, William Carter. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during assignment on the Queen Anne pistol matter. Expense account item 1, $1.75 cab fare from my apartment to your office, where I was introduced to Leonard Bonney, a tallish, badly proportioned man whose pasty complexion was just a shade darker than the sling that supported his left arm.
Well, it's a pleasure, Mr. Dollar, a pleasure.
Thanks. You've had a pretty rough go of it.
That's right. And it's the truth that I'm glad to see somebody else taking the responsibility.
You might tell Mr. Dollar about these attacks on you.
Oh, yeah, I'd be happy to, Mr. Carter. The first time was in Liverpool before I boarded ship to come across. They came out from between two buildings near the wharf, 3 of them. They handed me a whack on the bean, and that's the truth. And before they could lay another hand on me, I raced off.
Did you have the pistols with you?
Oh, no. And I didn't have them in New York when another gang attacked me. They almost killed me with that knife.
The pistols are here, Dollar. Would you like to see them?
Yeah, I would.
Here, I'll open the case.
The box he opened was leather-bound and satin-lined. 2 pistols nestled in it, graceful flintlocks with 10-inch forged barrels upon which were engraved a coronet and a name so faint that I couldn't make it out.
They're from the 18th century. They're worth £10,000 as a collector's item.
Where do they go?
Oh, to an antique gun shop at 272 Medford Street in Boston. The proprietor's name is Arthur Worthing. He's a British chap. He wears spectacles. You'll recognize him.
Will you be coming with me?
Me? I don't think. No, I've had enough. I'll stay here and wait word from Mr. Carter that the pistols have got there safe. Oh, no, I've had enough.
The rest of the rundown was given to me before I left the office. Leonard Bonney had been hired as a messenger by the seller in London, who had explained the value of the guns, but had not mentioned any potential danger of attempted theft. With that information and the pistol case tucked into a corner of my luggage, I made arrangements to leave. Expense account item 2, $9.75 airfare and incidental expenses between Hartford and Boston. The address on Medford Street that Bonney had given to me was on the fringe of the retail district. There was a sign, and there were a few dusty weapons in the window.
Good day, sir.
Hello, you Arthur Worthing?
Yes, I am.
My name's Dollar. I've been hired by the Tri-State...
Mr. Bonney telegraphed me to expect you. The package, sir. I see you have the package.
Yeah, I have it.
This is a day I have long anticipated, sir. There. 2 masterpieces from the shop of James Freeman, Norwich, circa 1705. Sir, are you a fancier of arms?
Nothing antique.
Oh, that's a pity, sir, a pity. Fascinating study. These pistols have quite a remarkable history. Fashioned during Queen Anne's reign and gave service during one of Europe's blackest eras.
Yeah, they're pretty. But I like mine with less history and more shocking power.
As might be supposed, sir, the English gunsmiths prospered during those stirring times, profiting by the constant demands for muskets and pistols to supply the good Queen's armies in Flanders.
Ah, is that right? Well, I have a paper for you to
These
sign.
weapons, sir, rode through the campaigns at the belt of an officer raised near Norwich. And if the truth were known, sir, more than one murder has been committed not only by them, but because of them. Tell me, sir, were you followed?
Not that I know of. Now, if I could get your signature on this release,
Just a moment, young man. I believe that the assurance policy purchased by Mr. Bonney is in effect until the pistols rest in the possession of the purchaser. Is that not correct?
You're not the buyer?
Well, unfortunately, sir, a price of $20,000 is a great deal too dear for me.
Well, who is it then and where?
A Mr. and Mrs. Jack Rollins' bride.
Bride. Okay. Address?
Yes, I'll jot it down for you. Just a moment. 8 Victoria Drive. Yeah, there you are. It's a large address on the left flank as you approach it from the east.
I think I can find it.
Now, give the Pistol's Bride and tell them that either Mr. Bonney or myself will contact them at the earliest opportunity.
All right, I'll get back to you by phone.
Good afternoon, sir.
I have a package to deliver to either Mr. or Mrs. Bride. Are they at home?
Yes, sir. I'll take it to them.
Well, my instructions are to give it to them personally.
Who is it, Dean?
A gentleman with a parcel for you, madam.
A parcel?
My name is Dollar. Are you Mrs. Bride?
Yes.
Well, here are your pistols. For Mr. Worthing.
Come in. Mr. Worthing, I don't understand.
Well, maybe your husband knows about it.
Yes, perhaps that's...
Oh! Oh, no! Madam.
What's the matter?
You can't. You can't.
What's the matter, Mrs. Bride?
Estelle! Good heavens, Estelle. What's the trouble? Who is this man? What's it? Oh. Take Mrs. Bride to her room, Dean.
No, Jack. I want to know. What does it mean, Jack? What does it mean?
Be quiet, Estelle. I'll take care of this.
Come along, Mrs. Bride. I'll help you to your room and get you a bromide.
Now, what do you want?
No, I don't want anything but your signature on this paper, acknowledging your receipt of the pistols described therein.
You'll get no signature from me. Here, let me see that.
Hey, watch it, will you?
Leonard Bonney. He's here in America.
That's what he said his name was. I brought the pistols from Hartford to a man named Arthur Worthing. He sent me to you.
Who's Arthur Worthing?
I took it that you knew one another. He's a dealer in antique weapons.
Yes, of course. Get out of here. Take this fake form and take your pistols. Go back to your Mr. Worthing. Your bluff won't work.
Now, listen to me.
I don't believe that Bonney is here. I don't think he's still alive. Now, get out of here!
I didn't bother to argue with him because, as far as I could see then, he was either terrified, crazy, or both. With the pistols, I took the shortest route back to Arthur Worthing's gun shop on Medford Street. I should have saved myself the anger I'd built up to let go at Worthing. The place was not only locked, it was empty of antique weapons. And Arthur Worthing's sign had been replaced in the window by another which read, Office or Store for Rent. Inquire number 13 Groves Building. I decided not to. Expense account item 3, 70 cents day letter to Tri-State reporting my lack of progress. And expense account item 4, same as item 2, transportation back to Hartford. My phone was ringing when I unlocked the door of my apartment at 10 that night. Johnny Dollar.
Bill Carter, Johnny. Did I interrupt something?
Yeah, I just got in. Just came through the door.
That's crazy business in Boston. What do you make of it?
Well, the man called it blackmail, so I guess that's what it is. But what reason there was for using me, I don't get, unless they figured Bride would get violent.
I've been trying to reach that Bonnie. You left a phone number.
Huh. What'd you get, the city pound?
No, some woman with an accent so thick we can't understand each
Well,
other.
forget it. Bonnie just made it up. He was lying on his teeth about everything.
Do you have the pistols?
Yeah, but not for long. I'm bringing them down to your vault in the morning.
Good. Stop by my office. Aren't you curious about this thing?
No, not even intrigued. I don't want any part of it. That was only half true. I didn't want any part of it, but I was intrigued. Later, after a shower and over a highball, I took the pistols out of their case and looked them over. Except for the possibility that they were the tools of blackmail, I could find nothing to make them worth $20,000. But under a strong light, I did make out the name engraved on the barrel that I hadn't been able to read before. It was Bride, as in Mr. and Mrs. Jack Rowland's Bride. And the date behind it was 1704. I wondered what there was about something out of the 18th century that could send a 20th century woman into hysterics. The next day, I saw the pistols put under lock and key, started to work on another case, and tried to forget the whole thing. But I was reminded of it again by the caller who was waiting for me in the corridor outside my apartment that night. The bride's butler.
I hope you'll pardon my intrusion, sir. You must know why I've come.
Well, I can guess.
I shan't take up much of your time. But if I could just talk to you.
All right, we'll go inside.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Sit down.
I'll stand, sir. Could you possibly give me the pistols, Mr. Dollar?
No.
But why not, sir?
Well, the main reason is I don't have them. Bride didn't seem to want them when I tried to give them to him.
Oh, but he did, sir. He balked at putting his signature on the form which described them. It would have become an admission that he had received them.
What's he afraid of?
I couldn't say, sir. He told me that he wouldn't be able to answer for the consequences if I failed to bring them back.
What does that mean?
Mr. Bride is a very violent and sudden man.
Look, I'm through with the case. I turned the guns back to the company that insured them, and he can get them by going down there and signing that release.
I beg of you, sir, get them tomorrow morning and give them to me.
I can't.
Possibly because they aren't there.
It felt like a beastie. Then I got a look at the vial in his hand and the needle. His expressionless face watching me became diffused and was streaked with flashes of red. I tried to reach for the face, but it swirled away and out of sight. I took one stumbling step after it. That was the best I could do.
We will return you to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. But first, we Americans have a valuable heritage, a heritage of individual freedom that includes the freedom to worship as we wish at the church or synagogue of our own choice. By attending church regularly, we can gain the moral and spiritual strength to meet the many problems which confront us today. Help support your church and attend regularly with your family. Now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return you to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Come on now, laddie. Come on now, laddie. Open your eyes. You can do it now. You can do it. Yeah, you feel that? You can feel that all right, can't you? Come on now. You're all better now, aren't you? Now, hold on now. Don't slip away again. Wake up. There, that's better. I'm Mr. Bonnie, remember me? Darling, none of that. You're all right. I'll put you on your bed. You're in your flat.
Where'd you come from?
Oh, it's a good thing I came from somewhere. I've been playing touch and go with you since 6 o'clock. First you'd come to, and then you'd go again.
Which time? What time is it?
Past 9. Yeah, you drink some of this. I looked for some tea, but I couldn't find any. I'm not too handy at making coffee. Yeah, is that hot enough?
Yeah.
Oh, now, what happened to you?
I don't know. Dope. He jabbed me in the arm.
Who was he? Bride?
Oh, come on, leave me alone, will you?
Oh, no, you don't. I've had enough of this. You stay awake. Come on now.
That treatment went on for another 45 minutes. That and the coffee. From the bed, I could see that my apartment had been torn to pieces. I was too sick to be angry about it. And when I could sit up and put my feet on the floor, I realized without surprise that Bonnie's arm was no longer in a sling. In fact, there was a Webley automatic in his hand.
Oh, that. Well, the surgeon said I wouldn't need the sling anymore.
Oh, you are a lying...
Now, stand up now. Come on. Did he get those pistols?
Who?
Bride. Whoever it was tore up your flat looking for them.
No, he didn't get them. And you aren't going to get them either.
Oh, yeah, now, you got a net on your shoulders. You use it. Where are they?
You'll have to do more than wave that automatic around to get them. They're in a vault downtown.
What do you want? A share for yourself?
Look, it was your idea to insure those things. Bride wouldn't receive them, and the company wants to protect them until he does. You must have known that. Why did you insure them?
Well, it was Worthing's plan. I told him it was too tricky. We're in a fine mess now. I've got to take you to him.
Why? I can't do anything.
Don't you ask so many questions. You just come along.
He gun-muzzled me out of my apartment and into a car. If I'd been in better shape, I might have been able to break away from him. But with my system still full of dope, I didn't have either the will or the energy for a try. I only half remember the trip, but the end of it was a shabby hotel within earshot of the harbor in Boston.
It's Bonnie. I've brought Mr. Dollar.
Capital, Bonnie. Capital. Come in. Hey, you're white as a ghost, Mr. Dollar. Are you ill?
Yeah, and you don't help.
They put a needle into him trying to get the pistol.
Oh, what a pity. What a pity. Sit down, sir. Sit down, please, by all means. Did they get him?
Well, he says no, and if he's telling the truth, we're in a mess.
In a mess, Bonnie.
He says the pistols are locked up at the insurance company in Hartford.
Well, now, is that the truth?
I don't see why that should be hard to believe.
Now, what do you say to that? I told you it wouldn't work. You and your complicated plans. Now we've lost the whole thing.
Nonsense, Bonnie, nonsense. Why, actually, the pistols are of no consequence whatsoever.
Well, they were important right enough in London when we talked about coming here with them.
Of course they were, Bonnie, but now they've served their purpose. The brides have seen them. You have spoken to them on the phone. It only remains for you to collect the money. The end of the past, Bonnie.
Well, I think we need them.
Well, Mr. Dollar, it suddenly occurs to me that I have spilled the beans, as you yank so quaintly put it. I've told you the truth.
I don't want to know the truth.
Why don't you keep quiet, Worthing?
That's a good idea. Until I get out of here, anyway.
Bonnie, stop him.
Look, I have no place in this. Just leave me alone.
Bonnie, stop him, or everything is lost.
All right, me bucko, come on back.
Gotta get away from me.
Come on. You don't feel so good. I hate to make you feel... Well, there. That's right now. Back in the chair.
What do you want? You want me to know what's going on? I do. Blackmail.
Yes, of the grossest sort, sir. We shall be handsomely paid by the brides to keep secret a 2-year-old murder of which they are guilty.
I don't care.
Why don't you keep quiet, Worthing?
Well, Mr. Dollar?
If you expect me to be surprised, I'll have to disappoint you. What else could it be? But why were you stupid enough to think that he'd sign that release?
Yes, I shall have to admit that my sights were too high. But a signed admission... It was such a devilishly clever scheme, I was forced to have a try at it.
And why keep me involved in it?
Because you are a witness, so to speak. Now, be patient, sir.
After being dragged into the lives of people I don't know and don't want to know, after being drugged and knocked around by your gunman?
Enough of that. And now, Bonnie, the hour to strike has come. I will meet the brides. Here. Oh, by the way, let me have your Webley.
Well, what about me?
You, at the same time, will be at the bride residence waiting for them to return and make the initial payment of our $20,000. The contest is won, Bonnie.
I hope you're right, Worthing. It's been a long one.
Yes, it has. A splendid quest.
He made a phone call to the brides, and Bonnie left. Worthing concentrated on the Webley automatic while we waited, and I concentrated on my head. By the time the brides arrived an hour later, I was almost able to stand without staggering.
Well. Mr. and Mrs. Bright, late of Norwich. Our paths at last cross. Please come in, come in. I am Arthur Worthing. You don't know me, but I assure you that you will. Oh, you remember Mr. Dollar?
Yes.
We should hardly forget him.
Yeah, you're not alone there.
I'm afraid I have most distressing news for you, Mr. and Mrs. Bride. I shall be unable to make deliveries since Mr. Dollar has gained possession of the pistols and steadfastly refuses to part with them. He is a veritable thorn in my side.
Do you expect sympathy from us, Mr. Worthing?
Well, indeed, I expect nothing of the sort. No more than your uncle, the Duke of Pembroke, would have expected from you had he known your true thoughts before you had him murdered.
Are you lecturing, Worthing? You're planning to profit from the same death.
Yes, quite a profitable death to everyone but the poor Duke. The estate fortune to the brides and to the others of us who nibble at the edges, a small share. Even you, Mr. Dollar, earned a penny or two.
Cut this short, will you? It's a little too thick for me.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Bride, you both understand the terms that Leonard Bonney and I have decided upon. We, in turn, agree to maintain complete silence in regard to your part in the murder, of the Duke of Pembroke between 6 and 7 p.m., 8 October 1948, at which time, according to knowledge shared by us, a killer hired by yourselves did shoot said Duke to death.
How can we be sure if, as you tell us, Dollar refuses to give up the pistols?
Mr. Dollar?
Leave me out of this.
An unfortunate situation, but one of minor importance. The theft of the pistols has become, according to your plans, the generally accepted motive for the murder, in view of their extreme value, and since they did indeed disappear. But who? Who would correlate them to the true story?
Oh, Jack, we could never be sure.
Quiet, Estelle.
My word will be kept. But Bonnie, I'd readily admit I do not know. The proof of your guilt lies with him, and he may decide that he needs more money one day. But the negotiation's at hand. The cost to you, $20,000. $5,000 to be paid tonight to Bonnie, who now awaits you at your residence. The rest within the next 7 days.
Oh, I don't see how it's going to be possible.
Oh, come now. Surely, rather than sacrifice the gracious life the Duke's fortune is affording you...
I don't know. The time is so short.
We'll manage, Estelle. There must be a way. We have the $5,000.
Bonnie will be waiting for you.
Now Mr. Dollar has heard the story. What good is buying your silence? But first he knows, and then someone else knows, and someone else. I can't do it.
In heaven's name, Bride, do you want the police to descend upon us? Then we all would be lost. All but Leonard Bonnie.
I'm going to the police. I want them to know.
Stop it, Estelle.
Take her now and go meet Bonnie.
Come along, Estelle. We'll go home.
Convince her, Bride, that there is no reason to fear Dollar's knowledge. I have my own plans for him.
Worthing's success made him careless. Calling his orders to the brides, he was a quarter turn away from me. As soon as the door closed, I moved. As far as I was concerned, it was a toss-up between being a good citizen and phoning the police or using my head and leaving. I decided on a compromise, an anonymous report. I leaned over him to double-check his name and started through his pockets. His inside coat pocket gave me a week-old receipt for the weapons with which he dressed up his phony gun shop. His wallet held some money, but no identification. I patted aside coat pockets. They were cluttered with the usual men's debris and nothing else. But I patted the empty pockets again, and down at the bottom of the right one, I felt a thin, rectangular object. It was inside the coat lining. I got my fingers into the seam and ripped. The object was a card set into a plate of transparent plastic. It said, Arthur T. Worthing, Inspector, C.I.D., Scotland Yard. Oh, the devil. Hey, Inspector Worthing.
What? I say that was rather...
Here, try some of this.
Thank you. Well, I must say that you're an extraordinary ally, Mr. Dollar.
It would help, you know, if your allies knew they were allies instead of pigeons. Do you want to try and get up?
Not yet, I think. A vicious pummeling. But more about that later. Suffice it to say that I've been posing as a blackmailer for so long that I scarcely know what I am myself. I couldn't shed my disguise in front of you until the final details were arranged.
What is this approach of yours?
Approach, sir.
This crazy scheme. Here, come on, take my hand.
Oh, thank you. Not crazy, sir. Intricate, perhaps, but I did obtain a confession, didn't I? With you as a witness. During the investigation in England, no effort was enough to swerve the brides from their story of their murder. I had to turn criminal to meet them on a common level and gain the truth.
And did you have in mind stopping the brides before they commit another murder or after?
That's an odd question, sir.
Oh, no, not since this is making sense. Not since you baited Bride with the idea that Bonnie was the only one that could prove them guilty of murder.
Impeccable truth, Mr. Dollar, since it was Bonnie they hired to commit their crime. If the brides were apprehended at the scene immediately after they had murdered that miserable little cutthroat Leonard Bonnie, well, then, they'd be hard-pressed to find a valid reason for not confessing to the original murder of the Duke, would they not now?
I think you softened the wife up to the point where she'd spill.
Yes, by Jove, I believe you've hit the nail squarely on the head. We'll phone the police to go there.
I think you hit the same nail on the head when you palled up with Bonnie and talked him into coming over here with blackmail in mind.
Yes, you're right. This has been a personal matter. The Duke of Pembroke was my friend. As I said, nothing could be done in England, so here I am. Unofficially, of course. I suggest now that I phone the police, don't you?
Yeah, driver, keep it.
Thank you, sir. Good night, you.
Good night, young man. Well, no sign of the police, Dollar.
They'll arrive quietly. We'd better get up to the house. We dropped our cab a few yards down from the bride address. When we got there, we took the driveway. There was a light in a room I spotted the last time I was there, a library. We angled off toward it, but before we reached it, a look I tossed over my shoulder stopped me. Behind us in the street, I could see a swarm of uniformed figures slipping silently toward us. They were close, but not close enough.
Now, boys, now, don't do it. Look, I'll give it up. I'll go back to England. You'll never be bothered by me.
Talbot, take 3 men and cover the rear.
All right, come on, you guys. Let's go this way.
The inspector got what he wanted, the murder of the gunman Bonnie and the arrest of the brides. Justice is supposed to move in straight, formal lines. When that kind misfires, I guess it's cricket to go devious. He brought a victim as well as a motive clear across the Atlantic to set up the playoff scene. Expense account item 5, same as number 2, transportation back to Hartford. Item 6, miscellaneous. You'll have to admit I deserve something for what I went through. $150. Expense account total, $365.35. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd with music by Wilbur Hatch. Edmund O'Brien can soon be seen in the Paramount Pictures production Warpath. Featured in tonight's cast were Ben Wright, Bill Conrad, Dick Ryan, Jeanette Nolan, Dan O'Herlihy, and Tyler McVeigh. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is Bob Lamond inviting you to join us next week at this time when we will again bring you Edmund O'Brien as
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Every Saturday night, Americans from coast to coast play Sing It Again. Do you? Well, if you don't know the fun and excitement you're missing. Not to mention radio's largest cash award if you can name the Phantom Voice. There's music on Sing It Again. Music with Alan Dale, Bob Howard, Judy Lynn, the Riddlers, Ray Block and his orchestra. There are contestants from all over America, phoned by Dan Seymour. And there are prizes. Prizes galore, plus that special jackpot prize we mentioned earlier. So stay at home. Play at home on Saturday nights when over many of these same CBS stations, Dan Seymour says it's Sing It Again. Stay tuned now for Von Monroe's Caravan, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. If you met a stranger on the street who offered to give you $4 for 3, you'd be pretty skeptical. But when Uncle Sam makes the same offer, you can take him up on it and be sure you're getting a square deal. By investing your money in United States savings bonds, you'll get that extra dollar profit when the bonds mature. Buy your bonds through the payroll savings plan where you work or the bond-a-month plan where you bank. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.